See, that's I might do. I mean, it's I'm pretty smooth with it, so you won't even.
What
notice.
is that, Andy?
That's my needle.
You doing it on the podcast now?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Freeze pipe for the podcast.
I gotta save it. It's got to warm up for about an hour.
But wait, hold on a second. Hold on. You keep telling me it's a needle. I can fucking tell it's a needle. What's in it?
I don't read directions. I mean, I know how to get.
Done with that shit by today?
No, they gave me 5 doses because things were fucked up. So it's called Xeroxo. So I do this, and then I go meet with this cool young, folk band, and we just gig to gig, hanging out, doing all that fun shit. Doesn't it sound like one that's advertised, Xeroxo? You can just fucking go about your business with Xeroxo. I ain't got to worry about none of that shit.
Yeah, your plaque psoriasis will be taken care of.
Yeah. It's always fun in them ads.
Here's Xeroxo fucked Sky Rizzy last night when we left.
Big pharma love. Yeah, I had this was my worst. I think I hit my rock bottom I hope I hit my rock bottom with chemotherapy. And I no longer refer to it as diarrhea, because diarrhea is like implies some warning, like you got some inkling that you should be above water with your asshole. But I shat myself twice. I shat my pants twice on Friday the 13th. And
oh boy.
Yeah, I wasn't that superstitious, but now I am. I'll always pants shitting is my Freddy Krueger. Was that the guy? No, that's Jason.
Yeah.
I get my murders, but yeah. So and then I also spilled. So I got up and I was just hanging out. Like I could have gone like, man, toilet's right over there. I'll hang out. And I'll hit that up when I feel like it. But I like, oh, I got to fart now. And then it's like, no, all right, it's already out. So that was early in the morning. And then I was like, oh, I tried not to think like, oh, okay, superstitious or anything. I wasn't worried about it. I also had this fucking dumb fucking thing where I get like Sean Rousey hands on cold beverages or touching cold shit. So I had pancakes. Made pancakes to feel better, and then I said I can't have, like a normal person, I can't have milk with it. Like I got to have milk, and then but I could if I got to have milk, and then I got to wait. It's like a potato in the oven. I put the milk on the counter, and then I'll have it when I can touch it. When I can touch it without physical pain. Thank you, modern science.
Oh no.
And then so I had that sitting on my nightstand. I shit myself. I'm all right with it. I mean, it's part of the business, They say diarrhea in the paperwork, but what they mean is hot sharts that are going to come without warning. Like, just, don't even fart. They should say that, like, right away. You're starting chemotherapy. There's nothing funny about farts. Don't try to have them on purpose. Always take precautions. Dress accordingly, maybe, there's certain days.
Well, you got your plastic pants. Were those?
Yeah, no, I didn't go to that because I thought, all right, I shit myself. Bummer. I contained it. I'm waiting for a cat possibly.
How did you contain it? What? Let's help the listeners.
It was all up in the underpants. I don't want to name a brand because we might want them as a sponsor.
I think that if you could, if you had underwear that could completely contain
let's just say
chemotherapy-induced hot shart, I think that sounds like pretty impressive.
If you were at a Dave Matthews concert and you were near the saxophonist and you said, "Hey, man, that was some hot sax." Well, that's what I had.
They turned into hot sax.
I tossed them. I got them outdoors right away. It's all right, it was not completely out of the blue. It's into the brown, into the thick, stinky fucking, but I got it outside and I had a hose there. It's just like fucking,
Is this a dedicated hose or is this for everyone?
It's outdoor for garden use.
Okay.
Fires and hot, sharded up Sax underpants in a heap. And I blasted them out into a rose bush. So I'm like multitasking. I'm getting Rose's a little bit of food, getting my laundry a little less of a problem, and then I came in, and then that's when I dumped the fucking milk on the dog, on the floor. like I've already, I think spilling's the new thing that I lose my shit the most over. But I dumped the whole fucking pint because I couldn't drink it earlier because my fucking hands, and it's too cold and it hurts my throat, and I'm a fucking mutant. I'm being poisoned by the fucking.
Was the milk for the pancakes, Andy?
I had it. Ideally,
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember why.
I should have thought of putting it in. I could have done it by now. Now that I'm free and clear from all the stress of shitting myself and everything, I would have thought maybe I could put that milk in the microwave. It's in a glass. I'll just heat it a second. Fuck yeah, I'll do that next time. This time though, I dumped it all over the dog and then the old cat who hadn't moved in a day and a half. I can't tell if it's alive, and it staggers over up into it too. So, and then I'm trying to get wet towels on it, and it takes a while to get warm water. So I can't wait. And so I'm dumping these wet, cold towels, and my hands are all freezing up, and trying to get that and get the fucking dog, kick the dogs out. The dog's got to go. It's not its fault, but it's like,
See, isn't the dog cleaner than you, even though it only has milk on it?
It's taking the milk mess and it's spreading it all over.
You have shit mess. The dog only has.
I know the shit mess is already outside. This is just following on the heels of it.
Okay.
So I got the wet towels and did all that shit. I'm still working on it.
Let me interrupt just real quick.
Yeah. Sorry.
While they're cleaning up are you at this point wearing pants, or are you
not doing any of this?
Completely naked from the waist down?
Yeah, what's the visual?
I went from part of the self-contained was I went into this tub where I got a hose, a nozzle. I could put it right down where the problem area was. So basically, European style, but with more water pressure. So it's like it's gone. I'm not worried about that.
Yes.
I'm not gonna fart, and if I even think about it, I'm running out. Running out to the hanging tree, and they'll say he shit himself. Well, he hung himself because he shit himself, or did he shit himself after he hung himself?
Something don't look right, mysteries. Sergeant. Something don't.
Yeah. And with my dog,
this is all too convenient.
Yeah,
a hanging tree right where the hot hose is to wash off the shart.
Normally you let loose of your bowels when you pass, but if you look real closely, you can see that this happened before the hanging.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all, the footsteps, there's little something smeared in the footprints. So that was like
but you didn't answer the question. Are you wearing pants?
No, I didn't have
it really was a yes or no answer.
So you spilled milk all over your dog while you are naked from the waist down.
Yeah, I was shuffling the bedding, and I knocked the fucking milk over with a pillow, and the pillow splashed, and I heard.
Why are you grabbing at pillows when you've got shit on your hand?
I'm getting stuff lined up. I'm probably gonna thinking about getting dressed.
Thinking about a nap while you're still dirty.
Using the pillow to hide his dick from the dog.
Turning up my bedding or whatever, and then the fucking milk, and then I'm like, God damn it, and then I'm all fucking claw hand trying to sop up the milk and then kick the dog out. I kicked the dog out right away, and then it's like, stay off of them underwear over there. Like I didn't plan on the dog. Yeah, that's what immediately is the thing. It's like all this shit is like it's all contained. It's like I almost used a biblical reference. All right. And anyway, Noah's Ark, anyway, if you believe, anyway, never mind. But shit ain't supposed to mix like that. Like you wouldn't have dirty shorts down and then let your dog out to just hang out. But that's what the
FBI does. That's called entrapment.
Yeah. When you got milk dripping off of you, I would rather you were out there, but then I don't want to see that neither. I hosed them off, but it's like just, anyway, so that was pretty emotional. I moved the nightstand and sopped up everything, and then I did a lot of swearing that morning, and then my wife got up and was pissed. He goes, what's the problem? And I go, hey, I have a right to call out whatever God's pissing me off whenever I want to. It's like that's my stand my ground. That's what I used to be able to say, God damn it, motherfucking, like I was combining all of Carlin's words and putting them together in a sentence. You shit piss cocksucker motherfucking God damn it. But I leaned on God a lot because it's like, that's, if there is a God, I know he's up there and I know he could have warned me, tell the chemotherapy doctors to you will shit yourself if you ain't careful. That's, nobody's told me that.
Well, to be fair, you don't listen or
right. If it's in
might
there,
be in there.
Yeah, it could very well be. My daughter's coming home on Friday, and I intend to have her just go, you've had to cram for exams before. This is read all this shit and see if there's anything useful up in here.
What is in this hypodermic needle?
I'll be like
putting into me for a
month. It's either to help my white blood cells or kill them. I don't have I don't like needles. So once I jab it in there. So I'm done with the milk thing. I'm making it up to my dog. We take a short walk, which you shouldn't really do.
Now you have pants on.
I got wet towels. I got soaked up as much as I can. Repeatedly wrung out these towels with twisted hands, and got it contained so I could relax. And then I felt bad about shoving the dog out without notice because she just happened to be under where I spilled the milk. God damn, she probably helped in some way. She probably took a lot of the milk with her.
Yeah.
It was like spilling milk on a mop.
Yeah. So, but it was like, I just panicked. It's like, I'm not at my best on this chemotherapy. And this was like, this is as tough of a situation as I've dealt in a while since surgery, I'd say. I don't know, but it was, so I spilled it and I took the dog out, and there's a guy working next door, talking to him for a second. I was like, I just kicked the ball for the dog once, and then it's like, and I shat myself. I waved the contracted guy, hey man, have a good day. And I got into the garage and I shit my socks on this one. This round, it was like something like you prime something and then it squirts out a lot of,
it sputters and all of a sudden a full blast.
I was like, if I cleaned up some of these when I was a parent. That's like when they shit their whole body. That's what I did. I shit, and it was like down both, like, these weren't sacks. I won't disgrace that company again. I wish they were, because the sacks has a little bit of a pocket that's supposed to hold your balls, but in the event of an emergency,
it gets the blowback.
Yeah,
you need the stage mans, and then you can just fill up the front like a balloon.
Just put them on backwards if you think it's going to be an issue.
Well, I mean, next time, that Friday after I do chemotherapy, I wish there was a place like they should sell them at like mini marts, just one adult diaper. Like, man, I don't want to commit to a pack of 400 of these things, but chances are, I mean, I'd be out. I could play with my folk rock alt band at a coffee shop on Friday morning if I had a diaper and feel confident and hang out in the van and not do any pot.
I don't know. I feel like you could just go ahead and pull the trigger on a whole box and eventually you'll get through.
It's not like there's an expiration date on a
right, but it's like they take up a lot of room. It's like having like my CD collection. I probably won't use those again either, but they're less embarrassing to have people peruse than to see you got 44 diaper. I like that they're designed to look like the worst underpants. Like the low end, stupidest looking underpants. That's where they start with those. Hey, Sachs, if you're listening, is there a way to grab the balls and catch some of that shit up in a paper product? I mean, I'm just talking for me
You
and
want
other.
some kind of a hopper? Some kind
Yeah.
of a clip-on hopper in case of an emergency? I mean,
gotta get-
it wouldn't help you because you started this off by saying hot shots without a warning.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like you can, now it doesn't matter. But what's a warning do? It alerts you to danger. Well, there's no longer any danger because I got me some Fruit of the Loom looking diapers that I can just shit myself and stand around with one hand on like a bad headshot back in the day. Looking at a bunch of books.
And answered everyone who asked you,
Yeah.
no, I don't smell anything.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
You got
farted?
Yeah.
Don't-
You got about
nothing.
8 seconds to lose that pose and politely excuse yourself before everybody thinks you shit yourself. That's the problem with it. And I forgot this part is the chat, just the whole chat and the smell. It's anyway, I'm not advertising for chemotherapy here, but I puked too. So it was a pretty good start to the day. I think that's all I did for the day. I mean, I basically, I kept, I mean, I was exhausted from the thing. And then I fucking have a rug, like a carpet cleaner. It's like a carpet cleaner, like a good one. But it's all fucked up. like I used
Now,
to.
are you talking about a
Somebody
Bissell
gave it to us.
wet dry vac?
Yeah, it does a good job on it, shit. But I had it all fucked up, and I had to,
It's all clogged with shit.
yeah. So I tipped it upside down, and it was horrifying what I saw under there. But I cleaned all that up to get, it was like it's a nightmare. It's like a fucking that thing about feeding the cat a mouse, and then you got to fucking get rid of the cat with the dogs and
What?
all that. I don't know. Isn't there
What
some
are you
shit like that?
talking about?
I don't know. I'm trying to avoid Bible parables.
You
don't have to fill every second with words, even if you don't know what you're talking
All
about.
right,
I
all
was
right.
following that. I think he's talking about cleaning up the mess and then realizing he has an even bigger mess, and now the vacuum is an even bigger mess, and it just keeps.
And none of it a person, I
like I
wouldn't.
swallowed a fly, and
Right, that's it.
now I swallowed
See.
a spider to catch the fly.
Didn't your mom read to you, man?
Well, you said you
I know.
fed a cat a mouse, and then you
Well,
got
eventually
the
you're gonna
mess
have
to deal
monkeys
with.
all over your property, and then you got to figure out what to do about them. Damn it.
Oh man, well that's a hell of a start, everybody. Hi, welcome to Issues with Andy.
Oh, we gonna start now?
Oh, I thought it was over. Jeez.
Holy shit.
I just needed
Literally.
to express it. Fortunately, I had a phone call from Stanhope at some point. I think that, well, it was a day or two after it, but I was like, I don't know what to talk to people about. I'm in chemotherapy and I got nothing going on or whatever, but we talked about shitting ourselves, and it's cool to talk to somebody who's on this, same wavelength. His alcoholism is my chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Or something. But he found notes about shitting himself from the last time he was in Milwaukee. So it was all full circle.
I
And
think
it was like,
last time he was sick when we were in Milwaukee at the Turner Music Hall. You were at the first one at Turner Music Hall. The second one, I think he arrived. Yeah, he arrived in Milwaukee sick 2 days before the show, and he just was feeling better by the time he hit the stage. But yeah, it was not a good way to start a tour.
Milwaukee's where
if you're ever going to be sick. If you're ever going to be bedridden, Milwaukee's a great town to do it in.
Henty's basement.
Anything.
You saw Henny's basement, right?
Shit, I was down there for 3 days with. He had that big pot of chili, and then he had a video game, like a bashed stand-up video game console that had an old desktop computer that was running probably 2,000 games on it, so you could play whatever, And I was just down there. I'd go up, and there was I think it was a crock pot that was cooking for 2 days. Just, I don't know what kind of meat it was, but I think there were some beans in it. And I just ate that for 2 days and played video games waiting for our gig.
Yeah. There's no side rooms. And it's like a Milwaukee basement. And it was, this Hinty was a guy who's a big fan of Doug's at the time, since had some falling outs. But he had like a shrine to Doug in the basement and a shrine to the Packer, all Wisconsin stuff upstairs, but in the basement. And that's the room you worry about with those Midwesterners. You know, like I just watched that staircase, and you know, it's like definitely a thought you have when entering any of those, especially with a guy like Arthur, who's, you know, never been married, very very I don't know what the word is, but definitely creepy. A guy creepy, possibly you throw in there.
Hey, what's this lampshade material? It feels weird. Is this I've never felt anything like this before.
Soft like brittle.
This chili's good though.
Yeah, have some chili.
This is a picture from that time.
I've never seen that.
It makes you sleepy.
That's Arthur Hinty.
And that's
this is a guy who showed up with 2 hookers at Hinty's house. This is Cadillac Slim.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
Well, I remember
that he's a pimp.
He worked. Yeah, he worked. The club we were, that was kind of attached to the club, right? Because there was a club that was in a strip club.
This is at Hinty's house. This guy pulled up.
I know.
He had like out in front of fucking Hinty's neighborhood house.
I was separated from that group and got there later. And when I got there, there was that gentleman, and there was 2 ladies who, one was his sister, and another, and I guess they worked in the entertainment industry. And one of them, the ladies, was saying, "Where's that comedian that wasn't funny?" And that's when I walked in. It was like I got in. That was my intro.
Yeah.
And
the credits.
And I kind of remember that show as being sparsely attended, but it was in a strip club. It was a big,
wasn't it right
room
next to the comedy club? They shared a wall.
Yeah,
that's the one where you jumped off the second story.
No. This was back in the day, but when I got into that Arthur's place, the lady said which one wasn't funny, and then I said it was me apparently. You know, I guess he was at the first show or whatever.
I just pictured like in Laverne and Shirley when Lenny and Squiggy walk through the door at the right time. Hello,
our prince will walk through that door any minute.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like Kramer's getting. I've already got a foot in the door when she said that, and I was surprised to see him because Arthur's. You know, it's like he opened the house up for the comedians that he was hanging out, wanting to hang out onto. Doug got to be friends with him, and then I met him through Doug. But anyway, this night there was these ladies, and she said which one wasn't funny, and for some reason, because I wasn't funny, it was and she was a black woman, and she said I wasn't funny and I needed some punishment, and I go, okay, you know, my people back in the day were probably shitheads. And I guess I deserve this. Taylor, make my set for your, you know, the audience, and so, but then she got a belt and started whipping me with, and like it wasn't in, and she wasn't doing it. I mean, she was doing it hard enough that it hurt. So maybe it was she was taking it easy. I have no way of knowing. It seemed to me like she was getting her back into it. and saying, and she goes, what did she say made me denounce being white? Like, say you're sorry, and so it's like shit like that, like, you know. And I said I ain't white, you know. I'll say whatever. I'm not hanging on to it. I mean, I am.
I mean, we do have a room full of comedians too, so there's a little bit of making show.
Right. So she's whipping me and saying, you know, and I'm denouncing being white, and then but at some point it started to get a little more, you know, it's like, okay, I think she's a hooker and she's hitting me with the belt. Am I gonna have to pay for this? And is she gonna, you know, and she wasn't stopping, you know, it's like fun for a minute, like Shaylee's saying, making jokes and stuff, but she kept cracking, you know. like she's taking it out. And then I looked at the pimp, and I thought maybe
Cadillac.
he would, yeah, Cadillac. I look over to Cadillac, and he just gives me a big toothy grin. Like that's like, I guess his expectations of fun violence is different than mine. But this was fun with everybody, and I got I took away some sweet belt marks from the night, and for a minute I think I meet up with him to go pimp shopping. I think we went he came out to the show.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, it was like like comedians and pimps, we fall into the same kind of working category. We're all trying to get a ride places.
Oh shit.
Here's the picture of Hinty on stage with when they did the recording of the
Oh man, I wish I hit it.
Modern obscenity
And Shawnee Rouse.
Morbid
obscenity. It was Doug's idea based on Arthur's complaining or anything. Anyway, we did a fundraiser so that Arthur could get a stomach staple surgery because he was that weight at the time, which now he don't even look that fat. Have people getting fatter since then?
They wouldn't even let you get surgery if you're just that fat now.
Yeah.
See, he ain't even that fat. He was like my mom. My mom made people, feel bad that she was heavy. And if I look at her now, she ain't even that heavy. It's like, she set up about it,
Although you never know, there might be a lot of belly in those pants. I've noticed.
Yeah,
he was a
look
fat
at him straight on. We did a side view.
He carried most of his weight in his neck.
Yeah.
Like he carried an extra couple of hams in his neck at the time. So I don't know if that's gotten better.
Old ham neck Hinty.
Yeah, that's the same occasion where Shawnee Rouse got handcuffed for peeing in the street. And and then
we talked about that last week or the week before.
Yeah,
Linda's or something.
I won't repeat some of the things Shawcroft said because I'm a that or whatever. What are you? Are you, I'm a them, a he, but not really. I'm not a he. How do you identify anymore, man? It's confusing out here.
Whatever.
I'm a them.
I'm a whatever.
But and then they'll Schlissel. I still get the occasional $40 check from Mr. Schlissel for past who's that in the chair washed out? I can't tell.
They're all white. It's a bad picture.
Is that Sam? That might be Cop Sam. Oh, and then shit, that girl. She wasn't. Yeah, Sam's touching her. It's his responsibility. I think that's also the occasion where I did the Klonopin and passed out at a family restaurant Sunday morning.
That could have been any of your weekends at
that was a real, I was like I'd take pills that was like what are they? I could take it already, and then I did Klonopin because this will make you sleepy. I go, good, I want a nap. And then I took one and then I took another one. That was the problem. And I was like,
classic mistake.
I don't think I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna just go eat. And I went to eat, and then that's when I slept, like face first in a plate of eggs. That's a bad scene wherever it is, but you wake up with fucking old Midwestern waitresses at a family restaurant in that situation. It's fucking nightmarish. Back up, ladies. I'm having a reaction. I think that's what I said. I'm having a reaction. Which was not untruth.
I was going to ask you guys about ketamine. I know Andy has done it. I've never done it or had an opportunity to do it. But a couple weeks ago, I think it was last week, I forget, somebody tweeted me that an article that the VA just teamed up with this ketamine treatment center in Arizona. Tucson's one of the places. So I already contacted them, and they've already contacted me. I'm gonna try to get in on it, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Oh man, you'll be able to. You could be my new therapist, because quite honestly, that crew I was doing it with out in the desert, they weren't the most science based.
It's hard to go inward with a boner.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe what ketamine does, but it was a lot of fun, and I laughed a bunch. And then it was done.
The downturn.
Well, I don't remember the downturn, but I ran out. I didn't have it anymore.
I did remember that you had mapped out your life plan for quite a ways. So I thought maybe it's might just kind of make you manic. That's kind of what I do when I get like in a manic mood, and then I just forget all about it later. But if I probably just kept me manic, that'd be good.
Well, unless my plans include laying low and having cancer.
But I think you mentioned the cancer in your plan. You did this.
Yeah. Then there you go. Ketamine's an ugly look ahead. I just want to see when it ends. I don't have to. It's like staying awake for the blood moon or something. Did anyone do that? Did it work out?
I didn't do that.
What was that?
It was never mind. It was last night. I was.
Oh yeah. Tracy and the people up in the funhouse checked it out. I ate too much of an edible and was trying to paint the kitchen, and I was against the clock. I had to get done before it really hit me, so I couldn't look at the moon. Although it might have been fun, but
I think some places it might have been cool, but it wasn't here. Like I got up and looked.
I think you're too far north. It was mostly in the southern hemisphere.
I saw Bigfoot
farther north.
Bigfoot was ducking under some trees down below, but I was the blood moon didn't pay off at all. I wish. I wish. That's if I could make one thing fucking happen, it would be Bigfoot. Bigfoot loose in New York.
Wait, if you got one wish,
that's what you would do it.
You wouldn't wish for more wishes,
shit. I'd wish for
$1 billion or world peace. I want Bigfoot in New York.
Why wouldn't you just combine that with like make it one big?
Have to be there too.
I want to. My wish is to
2 tickets.
Release Bigfoot in New York, and I'm the only one with a video camera to capture the footage. That I mean, right there. It's gonna end. It's gonna end up in death by cop for Bigfoot. It's not gonna end nice. And then you're the only one with footage, and then you make money on the footage.
I think the edible kicked in here right before I said if I could make a wish. Of course not, wouldn't wish for that.
Well, imagine all the other wishes Bigfoot would give you. I mean, so it's a win-win situation.
Oh, I know. Like I just go like, hey Bigfoot, before we go any further, sign this contract. All right, bitch.
This is a 2-party consent
You're
state.
gonna lock Bigfoot in.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, you're gonna exploit Bigfoot like
he's not gonna be able to
Colonel
bond
Tom
with.
Parker.
He's not gonna be able to trust you right away. But you're like, you're in the contract, so you know, unless you want to meet Ruth.
No one said 3 shows a night. This is
go
bullshit.
around to all these racist shows, and then you go to all these racist shows, and you go, Bigfoot's racist too, but then Bigfoot's just there to fucking wrestle with people. Like you got untamed Chewbacca going 4-chain on them motherfuckers, and they need to be in shit. That's, you know, if there's
wait, hold on. You got what? You got something Chewbacca? What did you say?
Well, Chewbacca's basically Bigfoot, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
And
a Bigfoot who got paid.
You want to come down is watch any of the Star Wars movies objectively that from the original 3 and go, they ain't stupid as shit. They don't even know what the force is to cripple weak minds, and then they're like, who are you fighting? You know, that's a whole Jedi trick. They fucking take a weak mind and convince them of some other shit, and they're the good guys. You know, that's fucking right away.
Wait, so basically you're saying that Obi-Wan was grooming Luke Skywalker?
Yeah. Well, first thing off is a robot shows up, and he's got to chase the robot, and that ends up out with some old dude, Obi-Wan, who's telling Luke shit about his old man. Of course he's grooming him. It's kind of like fucking that's the Jesus side of things, is the force. So then it's like, what's Darth Vader? He's just probably a dude who likes to have a good time. And they keep fucking with him. He's like Porky, you know?
Porky, bro.
Yeah. Porky's a good old.
He just wants to have a fucking
he's running a
beer joint strip club out in the swamp.
He's just a regular fucking guy now, throwing teenagers off the thing. But if they didn't go fuck with him, he wasn't coming into their town. Make Henry Phillips old man come
Darth
out.
Vader blow up a whole planet?
Yeah, that was the thing. But what was the planet? Did they ever show what the planet was?
Princess Leia's planet.
Tatooine.
Yeah, son of a bitch. He's a bit of a misogynist.
And the Force was being used by both good and bad. Obi-Wan was good, and Darth Vader was bad.
But Darth Vader probably had days where he just took the helmet off and went to the Saturday market. It's just so fucking. It's like it's like a.
He gets a kombucha.
It was. I know it's back. It's almost like looking at the way old movie. But I mean, it is 76.
A whale movie.
I was trying to think of the fucking.
Free
Frankly,
Willy?
My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn, and I can't think of the name of the movie.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Yeah, because
That's not a whale movie.
Well, that's old, like Wizard of Oz. But Star Wars looks as primitive as those to me. It's stupid, and the whole it's just I don't know how it caught on. And I'm not interested in any more of it. I don't want any more. Let's fucking let them all go.
I mean, you have to look at it from the standpoint of 1979, Andy. I mean,
I guess I'm being molested after watching The Empire Strikes Back, which is arguably the best of the three. So I don't really have fond memories of any of it. I didn't really understand Star Wars when I saw it, and I really didn't understand what happened after Empire Strikes Back. And then I had to revisit it to go back into the other one. I mean, I didn't go back to get molested.
You want the full experience.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm thinking, well, what's going to happen with Han Solo and all that? It's like, oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I watched that for a while. Stupid. Don't do it, man.
Wait, you watched what?
Memories. That's Star Wars. And then
okay.
I was waiting for them big game sevens in the NBA going, these are going to be great. They advertised game sevens. And they were like, it was fun because they were so lopsided, especially the fucking Phoenix Suns. It was laughable. I didn't like that Luka Doncic. Is that his name?
Luka Doncic.
The more I learn about him, he just seems like a real annoying big white dude, and he is. But he's also really good. And he's a fucking ball hog. But his teammates scored a lot of points that game. But man, does anybody dominate the ball more than him? Where he's like takes it, dribbles it, fakes a pass, does the thing, just throws up a shot. Fucking man, he's like Larry Bird used to pass it once in a while. I don't. But
isn't he possibly like an MVP of the league though too?
Probably,
he's like the top guy. I don't follow the NBA very closely.
I've started to watch it again, and there's a couple of fun, like the guy John Rule. I'm going to say his name wrong. He plays for Memphis, and he got his that guy injured, but he's like Michael. Man, I'm saying his name wrong. But he kicks ass, and he got injured, and then Memphis lost. So he's like a Michael Jordan. He's going to be that good, I think.
Wow, he's going to be as good as the greatest player of all time.
Maybe he's definitely yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan's overrated, man. Come on.
Star Wars sucks. Michael Jordan's overrated. What's next?
Wow.
Who are you taking down next?
Pie. Man City. What Jordan was ultimately was just kind of a dickhead to his teammates. And if he would have been cool to his teammates, I would think he was the greatest of all time, but Kobe was better. I don't know. I'm not talking basketball.
Kobe was a good dude.
Kobe was a good dude and did a lot of, he seemed like a
Except
guy
for the raping.
Yeah.
You cut out the raping. You take the raping out of the equation.
Didn't he pay her not to say that?
Yeah, but he didn't pay Brett.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was some question about what went on there. It's possible that, the woman in that case was all, into it and then decided afterwards that she'd made a mistake, and, she described it one way and he described it another.
I always just took Sean Rouse's bit at kind of the gospel.
I don't remember. I remember that he had a bit about it.
Yeah, and in the details he had, it seemed, I would be interested to find out if those were actually the things. Because Sean seemed, he goes, he goes, you can tell Kobe didn't go to college because the way he raped. And then he goes, the only thing he did, good is, I don't know, he had a punchline like where he had a towel wrapped around her neck, slightly choking. And it's real, like, when Sean got into something where you go, well, this is getting pretty dark. And he goes, but he was all pro when he goes, you got to kiss my dick before you go. He goes, now that's all pro. So I don't know, since neither of them are around to defend their position on it. I'd like to think that Kobe got up to heaven and Sean Rouse was there. It's like, hey, Kobe, let me run this past you. And that's heaven. And all the Christians are like, could we get these guys out of here?
Who's at the gate?
Imagine going to church your whole life, living a clean and Christ-like life, and dying, and then Sean Rouse is right next to you.
Yeah,
heaven forever.
Like heaven is Weed, California, and the Hell's Angels are in town. My family actually did that. We stayed at some place, a family inn or whatever, someplace without any air conditioning. I know that. And then the motorcycles arrived. My dad's in a wheelchair. We're in a fucking righteous panic. And then once they get a look at how my family, they'll rip us apart. We kept them shades down.
You guys were on vacation in California?
Yeah, we were probably on our way to the VA hospital to or from. And we pulled up into town there, and it's a real quiet town. And then a couple of hundred motorcycles show up and zip through town 20 times, and then they're there yelling and shit, fighting. Wish I could have. My parents wouldn't let me open the blinds, but I know there's a lot of shit I wanted to see out there. Oh man, my old man cat's getting ready to try to take a shit again, but he doesn't do it anymore. I don't know how to tell him.
Well, you certainly don't have a position of authority on what he needs to do.
The dog
is not looking to you for instruction.
No, but it's like it's a different. I give him what I had to see it because my daughter's coming home in a couple of days, and I'd like her to see him. And then if we have, but he won't shit. So, dude, you're live for another podcast, so you're defying the odds. I've had him long. He's been dying longer than Mishka had his cat.
Maybe that's what you need. If you need, Mr. Squishles to pass over into the next phase, you just need Mishka to show up.
Yeah. Well, if I could get a couple of needles with the right stuff in it, I'd do it for him at some point, but
Mishka could take his shirt off and put out some Instagram posts.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some poems written. Mr. Squid, everything rhymes with squishles. that's your title. Right there. Chad, are you drinking?
A little bit of whiskey in my
Uh-huh.
tea, not too much.
You're drinking for all of us almost.
In
Well,
your
I got
tea?
wine.
okay.
You're
That's-
drinking whiskey with tea?
Chad, your front porch looks like a you said redneck or whatever, but it looks
Yeah.
it looks like a place I'd like to hang out and smoke weed.
It's that's kind of what it's been designed for. So
It's
that's
like
not even the good part. The area where I took that picture from, if I turn around right there, is my fish pond. It's full of plants, and it like you got to go through a jungle to get back over to the weed smoking seat. Not really, but it's nice.
it's like a Cracker Barrel for weed smokers. Big comfortable sitting chairs.
I've been building raised garden beds.
Do you funnel
Over
people
the-
through a candy store before they can get into your house? Have you guys you've been in a Cracker Barrel? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of times.
Erickson's. It's a part of the. You've been
Oh,
in a.
yeah, I love the place.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, the food is good.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I don't know about
You ever eaten at Cracker Barrel, dude?
I've eaten at Cracker Barrel, but I just, when I guess I'm, it's a Jesus-based business. It's like one of those places, like you go into the gift shop and there's a lot of religious shit. So that's what I base my thing on. It's just big, and then I saw some big fat, like I base my opinion maybe on only being there once or twice, but it seemed like a place where you go after church on Sunday.
It is. But it also has really good food. The biscuits and gravy are really good. Fucking love Cracker Barrel.
I don't know if it was local to this place, but when we first moved here, there was a place called Po Folks.
I remember that.
Heard of that?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
place was badass, man. You could get a gallon of iced tea.
It was kind of the same deal as a
That's
Cracker
what kind
Barrel.
of made me think like you could they give you like those little cribbage games or whatever to play with,
Yeah.
golf tee games at the table, and
So you can find out you're an idiot.
the COVID spreaders, they'd call them today.
Uh-huh.
Play with this thing before you eat that guy just played with.
There was a fancy one it was Coos Bay, Oregon, at King's Table. And that's where my
Ooh.
church group would go. It was, I still remember, but it's, it's just every trashy item, any like a chicken, cinnamon rolls, and a kid it was like heaven for a kid because you go.
Was it like a all you can eat, like a buffet?
Yeah. And the church group would go over there, and they, it was a weird group of just kind of like it felt like being with the circus almost. It was like, Sniffer Riddlin was this real thin guy with a big nose, and then the choking guy was a little, gravelly little fucking dude, and that Daisy Hutchins or what's his name, the little Earl was all humped over and shit, and it was like and then we'd do a prayer, and the preacher would stand up and do a prayer over the group before we'd eat, and I'd just slunk off. I could hide behind shit, and it was a to-do because my dad would join the church for King's Table
For the food.
and my dad, I think that's why I was embarrassed of the group, is my dad would make fun of them. So we'd sit over, and my dad in a wheelchair would make fun of the group and draw attention, and then I would feel embarrassed of all of us. but it didn't matter because you could get ice cream, you could get cinnamon rolls, you could get
Self-serve, right? The ice cream.
Yeah. You get a tray and just fill it up with just fucking shit. None of it was probably, I think they did have
Food.
salad. Yeah, but salad was like iceberg lettuce and shit.
Uh-huh.
That was a tough blow for the people at Coos Bay when King's Table went out of business. It's like there was nothing like it.
Associated with the Royal Fork.
The Royal Fork.
Yeah.
The Golden Corral. That's another buffet.
Yeah. We had Golden
those
Corral in
this year,
the
missed
Midwest. That was
until the
our
pandemic.
version.
we just talked about our favorite. We went to Tucson the other day, and I told Jenny the sweet tomatoes. It's a big salad buffet.
I've been there.
God damn, that's good. Gone.
Yeah. Thanks, Obama. I'm having my sugared Coca-Cola. A couple of those a week. I get a bottle and then I bring it home and then I leave it out. And then 2 days later, I drink it. Fucking warm shit,
warm
man.
And flat?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
That's a new thing that you do? That's not a
it's just
tradition?
Yeah. I could probably sleep on my face, but I haven't done that since all this started. And I used to always sleep on my face, but I got that thing here and it just feels like if I'm flat on it, it's probably not the best thing.
It's on your right shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the chest area.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that bitch. Well, I mean, no, I shouldn't say bitch. The lady who
Your
removed
caregiver?
It hurt. She
Fucking whore.
It hurt a lot when she pulled the thing out. Yeah, dummy. She goes, because they take this tape off, and then there's this thing, and I feel it going in, but they go, do you want this? Do you want it frozen? And they can spray it cold.
Is it like a margarita?
Yeah, so I can go shh. They go, and then it's cold, and when they pierce through it, I don't even think. I try not to think about it, but then this nice lady who took it out this last week, she did the tape and then she yarded it out, and it for the first time it coming out hurt. It fucking stung, and she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And she goes, I don't, like she did it wrong, or and she goes, let me show you what I did. And I didn't really want to look at it.
Yeah.
I go, no, I don't. And she goes, yeah, I want to show you what I did, because she felt bad about it. So I looked at it, and it's like, now I don't. Now I'm going to think about that the next 6 times, because it's like the end of a pen, or like a tacker. It pierces in there. Now I know what it looks like, and now I'll be like, okay, now I know I'm getting punctured each time, because she wanted to show me. And then she goes, I'm so sorry, like I should be like like I just got punched in the face or something, I need to just sit there. I was like, it hurt. I said, God damn it, or whatever, and then I'm done with it.
Wait, you said God damn it when it happened?
I think I said God damn it. Yeah, I said God damn it. It hurt. I mean,
yeah,
the fucking I'm there, and it's.
But I mean, you also have to understand that then that's probably why she wanted to explain to you what had happened, because she felt bad.
And now I know
obviously she caused you this pain.
And when they take it out, they usually go, okay, 1, 2, 3 or whatever. I don't even care. And it comes out and I don't feel it. But when she yarded it out, it went sideways. So that's why it hurt.
Technique is probably
give me a Band-Aid and I'm done. I want to get away from the crew. I gotta go. And here's another thing that happened on Friday the 13th. After I was pretty sure I was done with everything else, I went to my weed store that has Top Shelf Friday. I can get an eighth for 24 of the best weed they got.
What kind of deal is that? I don't buy.
It's pretty good. Top Shelf weed's usually $35, $40 or whatever. So
it's like 24. That's a substantial savings.
And I like smoking the better stuff. I smoke less of it or whatever. So I went in there, and there was a group of people around in the lot, and when it was like, thinking it was, I planned this. I'm here at 10. It opens at 10, and then there's a group of people. They let me walk up, and then I come out, and then as I'm leaving, they go, "Oh, we're closed because we're rebranding." And I go, and then I stop, and I go, "Are you're fucking kidding me? You're rebranding on Friday the 13th, you fucking assholes!" And
on a Friday.
On a Friday,
why not on a Sunday?
That's what I said. Top Shelf Friday the 13th, you assholes. And they laughed. They agreed. They agreed. I go, I don't know what you're rebranding to, but it's Jesus Christ. That's a.
So this was before or after you shit yourself?
This is after.
Man,
what a bad
brutal.
Yeah, that's all. I was done with all that business about 9 o'clock.
It's too bad, because if you could have timed that a little bit better, you could have shit all over that.
I got cleaned up, new pants on, and drove specifically to that spot to get their weed. And they're like, decided we're not doing this anymore today. Or, it's like Friday, the top shelf, they, shut it on Tuesday, dicks.
So why were they hanging outside?
Because they're going in to rebrand, I guess.
What were they even rebranding? Are they like changing their name or what?
I guess.
They were just switching all the names of the weed to see if anybody would notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
all the same anyway.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to have a real
swapping the indicas for the sativas. Nobody will know.
Yeah.
Well, Oregon's a pretty low bar to get into the weed game compared to some of the other states. So there could have been a little switching. Someone got in a little trouble, and
you're put this in my brother's name.
Yeah.
Somebody came in and bought.
You're now a COO.
Somebody bought all 10 jars, and you're out of business.
Yeah.
We're rebranding this shit now.
There's one weed store in Bisbee called the Green Pharmacy, and they just closed. Just
really?
Closed up shop completely. Yeah, and I don't really know why, because I've never went there or anything. I remember people were standing during the pandemic. People were standing in line for 2 hours to get some weed. And then after waiting for 2 hours in line, our neighbor was told, "Sorry, we're out. Everyone disperse." It was like, wait, you're 2 hours? You didn't know like an hour ago that you're going to run out, and you just tell the line, "Hey,
that's not how that works. Your weed's over there, and it's over there."
Fucked up. So they finally went out of business. I don't know why, but Chad, had you not heard of that?
No, I haven't been there for years.
Yeah.
Is it a recreational store, or is it?
Yeah, it's both.
I don't know how you could go out of business.
Store for a long time, and then it went.
Yeah, how could you go out of business selling weed?
Yeah. People were waiting 2 hours to get in there.
You can charge whatever you want.
They were.
And tourists.
I think too, maybe when people started growing it themselves.
But like,
I don't know that it would undercut. It hasn't really undercut my business at all.
Yeah.
Was it downtown? It was right downtown.
No, it was right over by Safeway.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Highway to Naco.
Yeah, they should have worked harder to get Kenny and Kenny there as a regular.
They might have been doing some shady shit, because whenever they first, when it was medical, you could go in there and they were selling plants. And I knew for a fact it was illegal to sell plants, but they had a bunch of them behind there. And I was like, God damn, that's pretty bold. Those are right there.
Huh.
I'll find out what's going on. I thought maybe Chad knew, but yeah.
First I heard of it.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird going back to my hometown and seeing a weed store there. Like Coke Heel had, was such a forbidden thing to have marijuana there.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Antifa.
Yeah. Fucking all the shut down businesses. It's yeah, I would imagine Coke Heel skews pretty hard in the weirdo, over the top.
Well, from your descriptions of growing up, I mean, it was fertile ground for weirdos. Almost.
I definitely remember like going into a grocery store in Coos Bay and it's like just listening to people and going, God damn, people are fucking dumb. Not in a condescending way. It's just like, good, cool. It's just fucking startling when you hear, the level.
Oh, that's when you went back like years later as an adult.
Yeah. When I was back for a few years after I'd been around college, kicked around from a college or two, and went back to Coos Bay, and I went into the store and I was like, holy fuck. I was like, it's like a bar in I went with Stanhope. It was I think right across the river from, and I can't remember what state it was, either in Kentucky. Isn't there like Cincinnati and Kentucky have like a
Cincinnati's right across the river.
Yeah. So it's like a NASCAR bar just on the edge of that. And it's like we're sitting up there and these dudes were trying to say that who was on Monday Night Football. No, it was painfully like hard for them to come up with words. It was like, it's the Redskins versus the Cowboys. Whatever. But it's a NASCAR bar, so it might be, maybe I was the asshole. Maybe they're like, oh, who's a city slicker coming here?
Who's fucking, look at Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in here.
It takes a pretty dumb group for me to feel like, oh man, smartest guy in the room over here. But I have been the smartest guy in a few rooms, and I feel bad for the room.
Yeah.
The room exists whether you're there or not, Andy.
Yeah. It's like a tree falling on somebody's head. I would imagine, you'd have to have a fucking ear for that sort of, I don't know if you'd like go back to try to get into politics or something. You could play those people because they're stupid, but you'd still have to speak dumb enough for them to.
Yeah, his name's like JD Vance. Just follow along.
Yeah, it's kind of, hey man, I made a poster. Fuck you. You know what? You see my hair? Fuck you. I'm the politician you deserve, asshole. Vote for me, or I'm gonna fucking win anyway. Fuck you. Yeah. Me and Chad are gonna get a ticket. We're gonna sell illegal Christmas trees and finance an outlaw multi-state Senate run.
Oh, multi-state.
Well, Oregon will both be we'll both represent Oregon and Arizona equally.
Oh wait, so it's not just Chad. Both of you are running for Senate.
We're gonna run.
Both of you are gonna represent Oregon and Arizona.
We'll vote. We'll split our thing. Go. You can run deals on people of Arizona, or I can run deals in Arizona, and you can run them up here.
We're gonna play good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, gotcha. We'll get some pictures of the governors fucking.
They do.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's some pretty ugly political pairings out there. I'm purposely trying to steer clear of politics because I've been immersed in it since Saturday.
Yeah, it's been a pretty ugly time.
Yeah. But I'm glad I denounced my white race way back before it was even a thing. But if that's any indication of white people, I don't think of me as one of them. Think of me as like an insider. I'll give you information on where. Hey, have you gone out to the health club?
Yeah. We're white people, but we're confidential informants for black.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's a black guy shooting up a white establishment, I'd be like, hey, man, there's 3 of them behind the aisle. Check the cooler.
Check the Cracker Barrel, bro.
Yeah.
They're in there.
Run into the Cracker Barrel. I denounce this.
You're not wrong.
And in lighter news, hey, about that Johnny Depp trial. I don't know if you guys have seen any of it. I haven't watched a second of it because I don't know Johnny, but it just seems like it's embarrassing and it shouldn't be on TV. And it's just fucking weird. And it's like people need to, you know what they should do is show, hey, you want to see Johnny Depp? Here's an iceberg falling into the fucking water. You heard of fucking you heard any of this shit, you fucking assholes? They should get locked into it, like when you want to read down to see what the ugliest celebrity couple is, and then you have to keep clicking past ads. You should, if you have any interest in Johnny Depp,
you want to see what Lonnie Anderson looks like today, and you're like,
yeah,
you won't believe
these celebrity couples had trouble making out, and then you scan for a half hour to see Jake and Heath Ledger, and it's not even that salacious at all. You fucks. You could
Kevin Sorbo, he's not even a celebrity.
Yeah. If you're interested in what this whole thing is, like, you should get into a loop of shit you should have to worry about. They're coming for you next, motherfucker. You're wasting time here. This ain't your business.
It should set a precedent, and whatever that channel that I don't know how they're doing that or why it's a show, But now, like every backdoor deal where they're letting fucking their buddies off with the nothing when they've done heinous shit, like the big shit. Jeffrey Epstein, when the first deal, when he got let go for all that shit that he should have never been let go, they have to show all of those.
Yeah, that would be fair.
And not just these ones with the shit in the beds, the real ones.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see, those things, because those are, those are the ones that get settled with a handshake or a fucking political donation and shit. And like, it's like fucking, let's see somebody humiliated like fucking congressman in Florida. That one would be put that one.
That's
on
the
TV.
problem, though. That shit never goes to ever happens. It never goes to trial. We've been waiting for all this shit to happen for so goddamn long. Matt Gaetz got charged with sex trafficking of a minor across state lines. It was like a fucking year ago. Like,
I know, it's a big fucking
nothing's happening.
It's a big tease, man. It's none of it's gonna happen. They'll flip the thing. We're in for some fucking hey man, ask Elon Musk if he needs help in the emerald diamond business, because I got a pretty good back yet, and I could probably husk up some muskets or whatever.
Yes, husk up some muskets is how they do it down at the emerald mine. They're husking up muskets all the time down there. Yeah, I think you'd be an asset.
And singing.
Any openings for any more musket huskers, I would definitely.
Well, I mean, if you guys can find the time to take away from your Senate jobs, dual senators.
I don't know.
I can talk to Elon, get you in.
All I know is I could come up with a pretty decent ad that would at least be as good on par with what I've seen for Oregon. Some old grandma tells it like it is. Shit. Put on that afro I brought to Panama and go, shit. You want that kind of politics? Shit. That old lady don't know nothing. I got a machine gun. Hey man, I'm tired about these food prices.
On nothing but beer can koozies, just like redneck sayings on them, and then just form around that each paragraph, and I would be a successful candidate.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, I'd rather have a
You'd like the
in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
This guy's a goddamn genius.
Oh man, you could
this guy, he tells it the way it is.
You get yourself 3 or 4 homespun yarns, and then about 15 of those oh gosh isms or whatever. You're halfway there, man. And all you need is a couple of sound bites.
I mean, the only thing working against you, Andy, is you'd have to tell those same stories the same way each time.
Yeah. I go, hey man, I got enough Deweys to run for Congress as a Republican, but I'm doing it for you Democrats. You fucks. No, I'd go. I would only run for office if I could be in the Republican Party and just be like, I'll do a key bump.
Yeah, they let anyone in. You don't have to tell the truth.
Party with you guys. I'll fucking bang your stupid wives. I got no integrity either. But then also, sorry, motherfuckers, I taped everything. Oops. I didn't say I'd keep it secret or whatever. But yeah, I would. I mean, I like to party like a Republican. I just don't like any of them.
Yeah,
I'd like to go get on Joe Manchin's fucking yacht and fucking slap Lindsey Graham around. I'd like to do a lot of that shit, but
that would be fun.
Get Lindsey too drunk and then just start calling him fucking names and slap him.
You're talking about it, but the only thing you're talking about is like fucking with other politicians. You're not talking about representing your constituents.
They don't do it either.
Yeah, they don't do it.
So you just.
But I'm saying it's like you're just going to be just as bad as them. Why? What are you bringing to the table?
I can get a sense of outrage, and when I'm mad, I'm funny.
Yeah.
And they're not funny. They're just like mad.
Yeah.
I come up with different names, and I would be racist against white people. I get out there and go, and and then say a lot of terrible things about a certain race of people, and go, I'm talking about us whiteys.
You could go out there, Andy, and you could talk about the great replacement theory, but you would be for it. You'd be like, we need to open our borders. We need to bring in some migrants. We need to get as many Jews in here as we can, because we need, the white people are being replaced in this country. That is a good thing. I fully support it.
It's like a bunch of white people are like a bunch of people who just get together and shoot hoops. And every other race is like at least a JUCO level college basketball team. They got skills, they got muscles, and you can see that they could do some good work, you know, like and then there's just as intelligent as anybody. So it's like all this other bullshit. It's just like, you know, I would say physically we're the inferior looking you know, race of people, and then intelligence is all even, I guess. You know, I guess I don't think white. I mean, it seems like there's dumber white people than I've ever run into any minorities. I've run into the dumb people I talk about in Coos Bay, white, and it's like like Chad knows that level.
In a white neighborhood, though.
Well, I'm white in a small white town, but I mean, just the dullards from the country, or you know, it's just it's ignorance that you can't really manifest through anything other than just staying put. You know, it has to grow in a stupid part of your, you know, a little stupid corner of your own stupid house in a stupid town, and it grows. But you can't go to college, you can't go to other cities, you can't go to other countries and come back as stupid as most of these homegrown fucks that are all upset.
That is a thing. Like there's some people in the little town I grew up in, even in some of the people in Peoria, who complain about, you know, all of these migrants, all these illegals streaming over our border. I'm like, dude, motherfucker, you've never left this town once, ever. Yeah. They're not coming here.
Yeah,
this is not going to affect you. You've been here. You've been here for 60 years, and no migrants have shown up.
The people who get worked up on that shit are
actually they are there. They opened up the really good Mexican restaurant down the street that you go to every Tuesday for fucking double margaritas.
Yeah, he's not talking about them.
No, not them.
They're some of the good ones.
They work.
Yeah, not him. No. Yeah, it's just fucking stupid. I've never, as a white guy, felt physically better than other races of people. I mean, okay, I'm taller than certain races, shorter, but I've never gone like, fuck yeah, man. You know,
you're not taller than certain races. You're taller than certain people.
A lot of people.
Yeah, he's taller than the Asian culture. The Asians are shorter.
Put me next to Zhao Ming.
Andy would go to Japan. He would tower over them.
Wow, Mang. I'm saying his name in England.
If Andy went to Japan, he could be a starting power forward.
I don't think even in my heyday I would have been better than Japanese. You know, but it's like that's the thing. Is like white people somehow think that athletically we're superior, and it's like it just doesn't hold up.
I don't think people think that.
I don't think anybody.
I think. Really?
I think that white people think that we're better at civilization.
But that's what that's what we
try to always claim credit for, that Western civilization is that's what drives the world and we did it all. It's all bullshit, but that's what they say. I mean, clearly we're not better at sports.
Manifest destiny. Yeah. All that shit.
Yeah. So
we invented the bomb.
I guess we got to start funding more football teams, because it seems like kids are getting fucked up, coming out angry and shit. But it's like I mean, most of these people who freak out and are doing this shit, was like, what opportunity were you pursuing that you're so worried about? Like, I was going to go to college and now I'm afraid somebody else is going to get that slot, or what? You're just sitting around angry about possibilities. And they're not even, like, what's it going to come down to you and 3 different people for a job, and you're all going to be different colors, and it's like, that's stupid. That's an individual thing, dude. If you're not talented enough to do anything other than gun other people down, then go to college, and get a degree, and then decide what you want to do. Now I want to gun people down in my fucking business. I don't know.
I think it's pretty it's pretty easy to figure out on some level of what's been going on, because you know, how they trigger your fear. Because if I get up in the morning and I get on Twitter, if I start responding to things on Twitter right away, it's always the shit that makes me mad. Like, it's just like, you know, like I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers, God damn it. I just get so pissed off. And that's Twitter. And, you know, I can be like, oh, I got to go do something. And I leave it. So in 10 minutes, I've seen, you know, a couple hundred tweets, and a bunch of them have made me angry. And sometimes I'll respond and fire off some fucking pissed off tweet that I'm like, what the fuck was I even thinking about? And that's just a few tiny tweets. So think about your father-in-law or your great aunt who's sitting in front of Fox News for 10 hours a day. Imagine the level of fucked their brain is. They're doing that for the whole day, and they're hitting that same. They don't even put the funny dog and cat fucking tweets on Fox News. You know what I mean? You don't get any break from it. So it's just hours and hours and hours of that shit, of that part of your brain, that anger part that just is getting fucking played, and then you believe it.
Yeah, I know. I'm at my least happy when I'm, you know, feeding any kind of anger about anything. You know, like I had the anger for State Farm for a while, and it took over. You know, it's like, fuck, I'm gonna get back at them somehow.
Like, I'm talking about even
I know.
Like, but that was like a thing that you were dealing with in your life. You were dealing with State Farm. I'm talking about me responding to a tweet from somebody who I don't know, who I don't care about. All of a sudden, I feel invested in their opinion, which I think is wrong. Why should I care what this person thinks about this particular topic? What the fuck?
Why do you?
I don't know, because it triggers me. You know, it makes me go, you're fucking wrong, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I need to tell you you're wrong. And I know that's on me, but that's what it does. And, you know, it's like the easiest thing to activate in your brain. And, you know, that's what's happening. That's what Fox News is doing.
Shit.
That's why we need some new senators from Oregon and Arizona.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh.
I think I know what he's doing.
If he could come in his own face right now, it would be legend.
Oof.
There we go.
No alcohol swipe, huh?
No, that's what
you got it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Blue Gatorade. He swabbed it with blue Gatorade.
Now, the one thing, Andy, you started the story with the hot sharts, no warning, and spraying that into your rose bushes. Since you're on chemo, isn't that kind of considered like hazardous material that you're?
Oh, well, we'll see what the rose does. Because I have a theory that rose. I one time I threw up a bunch on a rose, and it really had a great season. And it's like that's stomach stuff and everything. So it's like roses, maybe, you know, like a little of that.
So there's potential for like a Little Shop of Horrors type situation.
Yeah, it's a particular little rose that hasn't really done much. So you know, we'll see this year if it blossoms. Oh, well, I know what it likes.
Maybe cancer in a rose will manifest as a beautiful bloom.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gotta be some sort of it's either gonna kill it or, you know, make it stronger.
Is that another one of your senatorial
one of his isms?
Yeah. I'll do at least as good as some of the other guys. You know? I can't be the worst.
That would actually be a good slogan. I'll do at least as good as some of the other guys, probably.
Yeah. Do you want a politician who's going to promise to do a great job and not deliver? I'm going to not deliver. There you go. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm not delivering. Vote for me, fuckheads. Yeah. Let's just change that fuckheads to I love Jesus and I love you, my dears. You know, I'll work on a lot of that. If you
wrap yourself in Jesus and the flag enough, you could say whatever, anything else.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe I'm outrageous. You know who else was outrageous? Jesus. Remember him? He overturned them tables. Yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like people selling merch out in front of his gigs. Vote for Jesus and me. Your vote to Jesus goes right into my pocket.
Yeah. When you vote for Jesus Christ, you do so by checking Andy Anderson.
It's beyond parody what you think is you can watch something that appeals to that sect on their own channels or whatever, and you think this is not true. Like Chad's thing, he found those America by American.
Yeah.
The way that it's like how Trump doesn't have any respect for his audience. It's like those buyers know, they got to be some callous selling, it's like those rubes will buy it. And it's a fish that says Bible verses.
Did you guys see the clip? Did you guys see the clip of Alex Jones doing his screaming merch pitch?
Yeah, I think I could use it for my stickers.
Oh my God. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. If you can find it, he's screaming about how, this is it. We're coming to the end times and there's only one thing you can do to stop it from happening.
Yeah. And then Roger Stone's another one. He's like, all of a sudden he's all, here's the thing. It's, I don't like to get political, but I heard Ted Nugent saying that telling the audiences they should stomp people like me to death. Like fucking Nuge, dude.
Wang Dang, Tang, bro.
Yeah, I liked a couple of your songs, but this is bullshit. I don't want my neighbors coming down the hill going, fucking Nuge says you're a dick. The Nuge, man. I don't even want to talk to you about the Nuge. And like,
I'm about to fucking wango tango your ass right now.
Yeah, fucking Nuge, It's like you wouldn't even have concerts right now if it wasn't for hate. And for people being hateful dildos, they would be like, fuck Nuge.
I can't believe there's anybody who would. I don't. Does Ted Nugent do concerts anymore? I can't believe there's anybody who would still think, oh, I want to go see an actual Ted Nugent.
How'd you like to be on a? Oh, what's going on? How would you like to be on a team that had
or something? I would imagine. I don't know.
If you had a team or went to events and Mr. Pillow's there and Chachi and Scott Sobbs, that guy who was a joke a minute ago, now he's up speaking, doing, it's like it's laughable how far down the end of the bench for fucking talent they've had to go. And it's like, how would you want to be in a movement that includes that group? Ice is in, man.
I like when people are surprised at how crazy the Mr. Pillow guy is. Like, I can't believe this guy is that crazy. I'm like, really? You can't believe the guy who calls himself Mr. Pillow is crazy? He picked his name out and he went with Mr. Pillow.
He licks his lips all the time with that mustache.
Hey, here's Alex Jones.
Yeah, play this thing. This is great.
And then we need to get a commitment from Mike Pence that he will not be pardoned for his crimes.
Here's the best dress right here. I'm not fat. I gotta lose weight. This guy looks sharp, doesn't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones. In an audio tape.
What the fuck
that
was
he
that?
said the president should be forced to resign.
That's a different.
And then we need to get a commitment from Mike
That's
Pence
Bert
that he will
Kreischer,
not be pardoned for his
Here's the best
crimes.
dress right here. I'm not fat. I gotta lose weight. Look, this guy looks sharp, doesn't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones.
Yeah, hold on, I got another one here.
Here it is.
And supporting our guest, because everybody we have on is fighting with everything they've got. This is a war against you and your family of inflation.
Yeah. I feel like.
Hold on.
I have to exit full screen.
So when you keep us in the fight, you keep yourself in the fight, and this is life and death. So go to InfoWarsStore.com and get amazing products. Sign up for auto-ship and continue support. And supporting our guest.
Here we go.
And supporting our guest, because everybody we have on is fighting with everything they've got. This is a war against you and your family of inflation and collapse. And they know everybody's going to wake up in the midst of it. That's why they want to silence the leaders, because they think they can then defeat you. So when you keep us in the fight, you keep yourself in the fight, and this is life and death. So go to InfoWarsStore.com and get amazing products and sign up for auto ship and continue to support. Make a donation at the top and go to the Stone Defense Fund and make a donation to him, because he's a gladiator and a champion in the fight. And if you don't support us, you're helping the enemy. And I'm not bitching at listeners. I'm telling you, this is all out war. Roger?
Well, Alex, I think you're absolutely right about the fact.
You gotta respect that.
Yeah, we should use that clip before we put up my Venmo. If you want to help fight, yeah, man, that dude is
all out war. What's he selling?
I think boner pills and like multivitamins and
rival stuff or something.
Yeah. But you know, as long as it doesn't matter what it is, it's just as long as they make the money, they can stay on the air, and as long as they're on the air, they're fighting the good fight. And it's just
you'd be scared if you could boner bills.
Yeah.
You're taking a walk at night and you can hear that blaring out of everybody's house, and they're, you know, it's like it's getting, you know, I mean, it's like there's the way they talk is genocidal. You know, they're calling like people who are Democrat or not or whatever. They're calling them, you know, the same kind of shit they did to go. So it's like, man, am I going to get my door kicked in and some dude's going to say, "Show me your voter registration card"? I go, boom, sorry, dude, with GOP.
Yeah, Ted Nugent did say, he said at the Trump rally, in fact, it was here in Austin. He said, "I love you all, but I would love you all a lot more if you went out and just got deranged on some Democrat skulls and caved in some Democrat skulls or something like that." It's like, what the fuck? Everyone just cheered. No one gave a fuck. You know, it's crazy.
When I heard that, I'm like, I'm so glad we got mail-in ballots here. Like, you know, I don't want to go out and get sucker punched by some Nuge fan. Fuck you.
All right, Nuge is definitely on the Detroit Muscle Tour 2022 that kicks off at the Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater, Florida.
Oh shit, I've been to the Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Yeah,
I'm all
July 15th. He's doing the Florida dates.
I bet he does. Yeah, I bet he's pretty busy.
Illinois, Oklahoma, Texas. He'll hit.
Where's he at in Texas?
He's not going to Austin. He'll be in Fort Worth and he'll be in Houston. This is all July, man. He's pretty packed for July. But
yeah, he's probably the one who's making, you know, it's revived his career, because now it's just these, you know, these guys who want to still rock and roll, and Nuge is the only guy who's not woke. I mean, pretty much rock and roll.
There's other people, but I mean,
yeah,
you got Kid Rock, who's like the, you know, the hipper version of Nugent.
But Nugent, I mean, I remember Weekend Warriors and Wango Tango.
Yeah.
That was in the 70s and the early 80s.
That's what I mean. I can't believe there's anybody who's like, man, I gotta check out Nugent on tour, man.
Even in the late 90s, like the bow hunting club in my hometown, like hired him to come and be the guest speaker at their bow hunting podunk bow hunt. So you know, he's been desperate to try to.
Yeah.
I saw him in Peoria in the probably mid 90s with Bad Company, and it was a radio station I was working at had tickets, so you know, it wasn't like it would have been difficult to get tickets. But he ended his show by shooting a flaming arrow across the stage at a target. That was his closer. He was closing shows with a compound bow and fucking firing. And I think, I think, in fact, when he did that, it had to have been the mid 90s, because he was talking about firing this at Janet Reno.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because it was right after Waco. I remember that now. Yeah, he's like, everyone cheered, everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Dad, what's it? Is something weird with the ladies' faces behind him, or it's like they got like
the mask.
Yeah, it's he's probably playing at one of the political rallies.
That's a Trump rally. Those are Trump masks. It says
Those are people who are actually afraid of getting coronavirus but want to protest.
Probably made of mesh. They're just being ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nugent's been kind of pissed off about shit for a while. Like, but you know, to say to go stomp, you know, like I think the Republicans are fucking a bunch of weird Jesus heads and fucking race baiters and everything. But I wouldn't go on TV or go to a speech and go, I think you ought to go out there and punch yourself some Republicans. Can't say that shit. It just seems like somebody's, you know, it'd be nice if somebody would just fucking shoot Ted in his fucking lion mouth.
Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah. I'd like to get that Ted Nugent in a stranglehold, baby. You know, politically speaking, you know, just to talk to him about
in a debate.
Yeah. If you want to kill my people, I want to just talk to you.
Man, it sucks because his song "Great White Buffalo" is one of the great rock and roll songs of all time. That song crushes. Well,
Stranglehold is right there. Stranglehold is a great one too. One of those songs that like never ends. Kind of
yeah. He had a live album that was called Intensities in 10 Cities.
Yeah.
What a fucking great name for an album. And he was in a fucking loincloth on stage. He was fucking, he was
Wango,
right there,
I think
man.
Wango Tango, the cover is him with guitars as at the ends of his arms and wearing a loincloth.
Yeah.
He's just a really pissed off Bob Seger now.
Yeah, Bob Seger's cool, man.
Yeah, no, Bob Seger's cool.
Flies under the radar. Nugent just got into a little bit of a war with Joan Jett. Because like Guitar Player magazine or one of these guitar magazines rated, you know, top guitarists or whatever, and they put Joan Jett in there. And if for nothing else, longevity, Joan Jett has been fucking rocking for years, and I dare say a little bit more relevant than Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
been continuing on, and he said something disparaging about Joan Jett being picked as one of the guitarists. And they do these things all the time. They're just you know, every year they do one, right? And Joan Jett had the best fucking reply in that she just didn't really give a shit and said, you know, that's a lot coming from a guy who shit his pants to avoid the draft. And that is exactly what he did.
Wow, really?
They dug up the article in another Guitar Player magazine or something years ago. He said that he got out of going into service because he didn't do any kind of, didn't pay attention to hygiene at all, including shitting his pants and pissing himself. And that's what Joan Jett referred to. It's like, well, you know, that's coming from this guy. And now he's backpedaling going, oh, I made that story up. It's like, well, you didn't at the time.
Yeah.
You tried to tell everyone that that's how you didn't go into service.
That's like the stories you hear about basketball players that like research the opponent's family and has like really good shit to say rather than just, you know, come on, man. They're like, hey, what's your grandma up to? I heard she got busted for heroin or what?
Once again, selective hearing too, because here's this guy, Mr. Patriotic. Also avoiding the draft in any way. Now, you know, wrapping himself in the flag and doing things for the freedom of speech.
Yeah,
it was bullshit.
Yeah, him and Kid Rock are fucking killing it in the rock and roll alternate universe, where those people are like, you know, you guys fucking they're only saying you kick ass because Bon Jovi won't play their casino. Yeah, they don't want to come down to these parts. But man, yeah, those guys, you know, like if Chachi could do spoken word, he'd probably get a lot of those gigs. Like, you know, we really wanted to hire somebody who, you know, is actually funny, but we're hiring Chachi to read a monologue for our dinner group.
Well, no, you have a list you go down trying to get.
Yeah. Well, Trump did. That was funny when Trump tried to bring in top talent and shit, and he got like fucking cheerleader groups and
yeah.
I mean, I wish it was a comedy, because some of that shit would be hysterical watching a fucking demented old dude try to get fucking, you know.
Well, they had people go over the budgeting what they spent for these events that Trump had, someone that was basically going out to hire talent and just the logistics of putting it all together. And they went back and looked and was like, where'd all the fucking money go? Because that's not we saw the event. You had hundreds of thousands of dollars in this war chest, and it didn't go to talent.
You had a junior high tumbling team out here.
Yeah. What did they cost? A bus ticket? And all that money's gone.
Of course.
Church groups just siphoning money. I mean, I like Trump in theory,
Oh, look,
he's played for a fool all the same people that I like to make fun of.
Who was it?
It's still going on.
Oh shit. There was now I can't even remember the joke either, but there was some comedian who had that very point, and it was a perfect bit, but it was about how, like, I can't believe I don't like Trump. Like, he's a fucking womanizing, he wants to invest in a space force, like it was all this crazy shit. Like on paper, it would have been like, oh, this guy should be fucking great. But, he's
the dark comedy for the end times. Like it wouldn't be, if it was just, it's like, this is some dark shit and it's getting darker. And then it's like, okay, that's a good, it's like, if this thing closes out, this is pretty good. It's like, well, all right, I don't agree with his comedy, but it does seem like a closing kind of thing.
Yeah. And when you think about how did all of this happen? How are there this many people? And then you think, how are there this many people that support this kind of shit? And then you remember that Jeff Dunham is the highest grossing comic of the last 10 years on tour. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Well, and there's been, I'm sure, like, you roll back your mind from comedy gigs and stuff. We've seen signs of some, it's like fucking, it's weird how it's like back in the day, I thought it was just like small town thinking and shit, but then eventually I realized that it's because they all listen to the same shit on radio and that's all they get. And then also the small town newspapers started to back that same small town media that grabbed the radio, was now doing the similar shit with print. But back in the day, I just thought it was dimwits that listened to Rush Limbaugh type of shit, which it was, but it wasn't just small towns. It just felt like it.
Yeah, it just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, like that clown act.
It's nothing that happened overnight. This has been a long time.
Yeah. And then I think
people following Jeff Dunham or people voting for Trump, it's been a long, slow burn. It was never supposed to be something that was going to be. This will be a quick one.
Yeah,
that Jeff Dunham picture, the puppet on the far end, the skeleton.
Yeah.
Is a terrorist that blew himself up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the
teeth go on a really, really terrible, Muslim voice, and just the worst. And people just fucking love it.
And I feel like that shows some level of severance at people that sit and get that and enjoy it and talk about it later. It's like, are you real? Yeah, there's something going on. You go home and shut down and you don't remember this happening. It's the only way you could live with yourself, or you're actually enjoying that.
Yeah, they love that shit.
But I'm trying. Listen,
speaking of that, I think that's a good transition. Let's get into our recommendations.
Yeah, I was thinking there's a thing I'm trying to watch with Anthony Hopkins. It's called Magic, where he's a ventriloquist. So I found it, and then it was in Tulu TV, and then I went back in there, and it doesn't save what you just watched, and I forgot the name of it. So I was gonna watch.
So wait, are you making this recommendation?
No, I was getting. Well, my recommendation was going to be I was going to watch Magic because it seemed like a creepy, weird movie to watch. And then I couldn't find it, and I watched a Jeffrey Dahmer thing called Fresh Meat, and that's my recommendation. It ain't it ain't rewriting the Jeffrey Dahmer history so much as there's different details that I'd heard, and it kind of
like a cooking recipe.
What but they jump into other
not heard.
They jump into other cannibals, which I didn't think they needed to do. Like, come on, Jeffrey Dahmer carries his own. You don't need Ed Gein, he's a state champion.
Come on, a tip of the hat to the
a couple of Wisconsin boys.
It felt like filler whenever they jump. They go, well, Jeffrey wasn't the only one who tried it like that. And then there was a Russian couple that ate a lot of people. But it was Jeffrey Dahmer at his best. He was walking the mean streets. There's the details about him taking a head to work, which I hadn't heard before, but he took a head to work to hang out with at the chocolate factory, like while he was on house arrest.
Wait, what? What chocolate factory? Factory?
He worked at a chocolate factory, and he doped some neighborhood people, and he got arrested, and he had a year in jail, and it was house arrest. So he would go home during the day. He'd go to jail.
Isn't house arrest, Andy.
Well, he went to that. He had a year, and he'd go in, and then he'd go get a head before going to work, and then he'd take the head and make out with it at work. And
some people get head before going to work.
Right, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like he had some next level weird shit going on. Also, I was watching it, and the neighbor of Jeffrey Dahmer sounds a lot like Cosby. So I'd like look away from it, and then that smell under the door, and I'd have to look and go, "That ain't Cosby, is it?" That is.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah, I know.
Next door to Dahmer, like the Huxtables live next door to.
Why are the ladies making so much racket?
Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
That movie that you were trying to see with Anthony Hopkins.
Burgess Meredith in it.
Okay. And you said it's about a ventriloquist?
I think it's called Magic.
It called Magic?
Yeah, it's called Magic. And then it tried to direct me to Magic Johnson. Like, but
the movie's called Magic. How can you not find it if it's called?
I'm gonna
Magic?
watch that one. I'm gonna recommend it. Maybe I gotta watch it first. Just saying, you don't scroll past a Jeffrey Dahmer fresh meat if you haven't seen it. You go, there's nothing in there.
Magic came out in 78, so it's been.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer killed his first victim about 78 with a dumbbell, and then he got killed with the dumbbell. Boom! There you go.
What streaming service is that on?
Tubi.
What are you talking about?
It's a free one.
It's on Tubi, you guys. I looked it up. Tubi. Also, there are some opinions that this Tubi original Jeffrey Dahmer may or may not be factually accurate in some areas.
I don't care. It's fun.
They're punching it up a little bit. He worked at a chocolate factory.
There's a drag queen. There's a guy. There's a drag queen.
He won a golden ticket. That's how he got to get into the chocolate factory. And then
good day, sir.
There's a drag queen and some family footage. If you're a fan of Jeffrey Dahmer,
he just ate all the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
He was a trickster. He didn't have a magic trick, but he had a potion.
Yeah.
And
so did Cosby. Handsome. Maybe they were neighbors.
Yeah.
He was handsome for those days.
For Milwaukee.
Yeah. Milwaukee handsome, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Milwaukee 6.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh. That's fucking great.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's confirming.
Yeah, it ain't great. I mean, but it's funny.
All right, I'll go next. My recommendation is involves now that we watch all of our stuff on streaming services, there's no appointment TV anymore, but this is appointment TV.
No must-see TV.
Well, appointment TV. In other words, you can watch stuff anytime. Yeah. You don't have to watch it at a moment when it's happening. But that's what mine is. Mine's appointment TV, and it's for Sunday morning. And it's 11 a.m. Eastern. That would be 8 o'clock in the morning for you guys. You guys know that I'm a big soccer fan. And this Sunday is the final day of the English Premier League season. And what's beautiful about the Premier League is they play the last games of the season at the same time. So nobody knows what the other teams are doing. So, and the other great thing about soccer is, some of you know this, some of you may not know this, but unlike stupid American sports that reward the worst teams in the league with the best draft pick the next year, in soccer, you are punished for being the worst team in the league. You are kicked out of the fucking league. So on Sunday, somebody is going to get relegated. They're going to get kicked out of the Premier League. 2 of the teams are already decided, but the third spot, the last team to get relegated, will be decided on Sunday. It'll either be Leeds United, it'll either be Burnley, it might even be longtime Premier League team Everton. So get yourself up early on Sunday, make yourself a Bloody Mary and watch some soccer, because when teams are fighting to not get kicked out of the, imagine if you watch
millions of dollars are at stake.
Yeah,
millions and millions of dollars, instead of teams tanking so that they can get the best draft pick, these teams are fighting for their fucking lives. And sure, they're still deciding the top of the league. Manchester City and Liverpool, 2 great teams. Probably Manchester City is going to win it, but Liverpool could still win it. That's all happening too. All the games happen simultaneously, so nobody can know what the other team did that can affect. It all happens at once. These games will be all over the TV. I think they're on a bunch of different channels, and it's a hell of a day.
Peacock's
it's a hell of a lot
of
of fun.
I'll be on it. Yeah, I like that. I mean,
Peacock
that's
shows Premier League.
Peacock, I think
Ultimate Elimination.
They spread it out across a lot of the cable channels on the last day of the season, so it's a lot of fun. But these teams that are battling to not be relegated, like it's intense. So that's it. Check it out.
Yeah, I was a soccer fan back in the day, but Saddam Hussein's kids running the team, I was a big, just couldn't take it. Kusei, that's the way to treat
you
him.
Talk about intense.
Yeah.
That's worse than getting kicked out of the league, is getting kicked out of life.
Yeah.
Well, Sunday is Premier League, the final, but it's also F1 in Spain. So
whatever.
Yeah.
Mine was on Netflix. I don't know if anybody has Netflix anymore.
I do.
If that's still a staple. But my daughter recommended it to me because she had some similar kind of feelings in her life. So she compared it, and it seemed interesting. It's about a dude who's a fertility doctor, like in the 70s and over 35 years, and used his own sperm to inseminate shitloads of women.
Got high in his own supply.
Yeah, without their knowledge.
That's him, huh?
Yeah. It's a kind of a frustrating thing to watch too, because I don't want to spoil it really.
Yeah, it seems like if he looked like
not really a crime on the books that
if he looked like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt, probably wouldn't be a lot of complaints. But that's what I would be like, man, everybody in town is the same ugly as I am.
Yeah, but just because, I mean, Brad Pitt is just as likely to have an ugly kid as a good-looking kid. It's still
I don't know.
I don't think that's true, Shaylee.
Yeah, no,
that's
not true.
You're gonna have a half good-looking
never know.
kid.
It's Doug's old bit with Doug Flutie.
Yeah, but if Brad Pitt fucked an ugly person, and that's what might be half good-looking. It wouldn't be ugly, but you'd have to have two ugly people to make a real ugly kid.
Beautiful people have beautiful babies. That's just a fact.
It's always funny when they get an ugly one, but it's not, it's not often.
Well, part of the theory in this, one of the theories is actually that this, and it kind of bothered a lot of the siblings that they found out they were siblings, was that he may have done it out of racist motivations. He was blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids, and he created fuckloads of them, and they were
oh shit.
So that bothered a lot of them, and there's a bunch of angles to it.
And then
I don't want to give any parts away.
He probably has there's probably the next generation's probably fucked itself, Like
they talk
sisters
about that.
Yeah, right? Oh really? Wow, yeah, I'm diving in.
Yeah, and keeps going up it's only like an hour and a half long.
It's also one of those things where, I mean, even though that guy, knew well enough that, diseases are passed along, hereditary and things like that. But when he was doing this, it wasn't like you could immediately trace, DNA wasn't a thing where you could immediately trace something and know that this is the father. Like he was getting away with it for a long time, thinking, who's ever going to know?
Yeah, never. The technology wasn't there to even know about it.
Right.
Clearly, he had no foresight that would
He
be
was
a
the
thing.
technology.
So did it get into how he
Fertility doctor.
What was he using for jerking off with?
His hand.
Just I mean, was he? It's a bad, easy
That's
question.
what they showed in the reenactment. I don't know how accurate
Really?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he wasn't able to get his mouth down there then. It always seems possible, but it ain't.
You gotta have a rib removed.
All right, I've been in a crazy. I've been listening to YouTube, just audio of everything that Gerry Anderson came out with. He's the guy that did Stingray, Thunderbirds Go. He fucking had 18 or 19 fucking shows that were shown from 65 to the 80s or 90s, and even now it's all CGI, but it's Thunderbirds they did again. But it's almost a problem. I can't get enough.
It is a problem. This is your same recommendation you did last week. You're still stuck in the same fucking thing.
Hold on a second. This is what I've been watching for the week. But I watched a Gerry Anderson documentary, and I'll put the link in the thing. It's 3 hours and 40 minutes of just this guy's the shows that he developed in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So I mean, I was fucking amazed. There was 2 or 3 series he did, and he did them all the way back. He had a thing called Twizzle and Torchy that were so inappropriate. These dolls talking about undressing each other in the 50s, the 60s. It's fucking crazy. But I cannot get enough of watching or even listening to it. I'm doing some remodeling.
Well, I wonder if the Thundercats would get upset if we ripped them off like Big Jim. Thundercats. Man, that's a different show. I don't get why Shaylee likes his Thundercats so much.
But the documentary is pretty interesting. So if you have any interest,
is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. That's what I've been trying to watch everything on YouTube because then everyone can watch it.
Yeah.
But there's so many fucking episodes. There's a series about a kid who's 9 years old who becomes he's able to his dad developed this thing that could take the knowledge of a smart person, put it on tape, and then record it into the kid. And then the kid goes and does like spy shit where guys are getting killed. It's like, you sent your son there at 9 years old to fly a plane back from Russia?
Yeah, it's Cold War days were
totally Cold War days. It's fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That does sound like Thundercats, actually. I think that's Thundercats.
Thunder the Barbarian. Well, I want to watch some of that for sure. I love the way the South Park guys use
Team America is
Team America,
so
yeah,
ridiculously funny.
Right on. All right, well, there you go. There's some good stuff for
sorry.
everybody to enjoy.
Yeah.
Explain it already.
So right on. And what else? Anything else we got to hit? Andy's Venmo, you guys should know that. It's Andy dash Andrew.
My kid's coming back to see me this week.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah. First time
Good
since
deal.
all this shit started. It's the halfway point. That
Right
shot.
on.
I got one more
She was
shot.
a big, she was a really big help.
Yeah,
for
and she
all
hadn't
of
been
us too when you were having your surgery. So I'm glad.
so yeah, this will be the first time back. So yeah, it'll be just for the weekend, but halfway point of all this chemo shit. I'm on the downhill.
Right on, dude.
Clinging to little hair.
Is she going to take you to the rebranded Top Shelf Friday? And
yes, she'll. I'll probably. I'll have to swing by after I get her.
Wait, it's being rebranded.
Well, I don't know.
As, as another weed store, or is it becoming a poor folk?
I guess I better wear my Vietnam vet shirt in there just in case they've changed their.
Yeah.
Don't you have a cancer survivor T-shirt? That's even better, dude.
Yeah. Well,
that's true. You didn't even have to steal that valor.
I got one that says I'm fighting it, or implies. Like,
oh, that's even better.
Yep, and I do have I have a few sticker packs. I traded Bardo for stickers, and we had a sticker exchange. So now I have a few Bardo stickers.
Bridget Bardo?
Bardo up in Alaska.
Oh, Bart.
Bart, yeah, or Bardo. But yeah, you can get all 4, and I make it a 5-pack. I always include 2 issues with Andy stickers with each order. It's not just one. As implied.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. All right.
And those, man, I got those.
And I do a podcast with my buddy William Montgomery called The William Montgomery Show. It's on YouTube as well. And as Shaylee has mentioned, everyone can get to YouTube. It's free. The shows come out on Wednesday nights. And check it out. Also, I need to mention this because I did just find out from our podcast liaison that our good friends at Freeze Pipe have re-upped with the Issues with Andy show, and they're sending our good friend Chad Shank a new bubbler right now. So get out there. Yeah, there you go. Go to freezepipe.com, everybody, and use the promo code Andy, and you'll get 10% off of all of your purchases there. So thanks to our good buddies at Freeze Pipe.
Then you too can join the latest health craze.
I don't dare take a hit. I'm choking on tea.
See if Andy coughs. Wait, he's smoking in the house?
Yeah, I spilled milk in here. It'll help take some of the stink out.
Oh, shit. I love you guys. Thanks for being out there. Tell a friend, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget about our Patreon, patreon.com/issueswithandy, just $5 a month. We do all kinds of extra fun stuff over there. So go on over there and join. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, I gotta air this place out. We have pressing business.